What up, everyone? My name is Glitched Rune. Is my audio work? It is okay. What's up, guys? My name is Glitched Rune. You can just call me Rune. My stuff is all messed up. What is up with that? That is fantastic. That's right. It's gonna be kind of a chill day today. Um, we're just learning some Godot. Apparently, ads decided to start right now, even though they already ran. Okay. I guess. I don't know why all my stuff's realigned. There we go. Okay, yeah. So we're learning a new game engine called Godot. We used to be using Unity a bunch, but I decided I wanted to start learning a new one because of all the Unity stuff that's been going on. So I thought I would just learn it right here, live on stream. Cause screw it. So that's what we're gonna be doing today. I have a little thing off to the side. Jace is here, so he might bark. No, he's gone. I have a little the documentation off to the side, so I'm gonna kind of just try to make a little bit of our 3D. We started a 3D like RPG a little bit, so I'm gonna try to recreate that in Godot just to sort of learn it. So one thing I know. Oh, here, let me throw on some music. There we go. There's a little bit of background music. So one thing I know about Godot so far is that they have this concept of scenes, which is pretty interesting. Scenes basically are like a character is considered a scene. So like everything that a character has is considered a scene in this game engine. So I guess we'll create a character game engine or scene. Sorry, I don't know what I'm talking about. Hello, welcome in, Nakara. So I'm gonna say this is gonna be our character scene. We do. Blah, blah. Oh, hold on, I have a thing I always like doing on these. Let me see. Stream elements. Because I like always making sure that anyone has any questions. This is kind of just like a. Almost like a half just chatting, half game development sort of stream. That's what I like doing for these. So I'm doing stuff off screen. And yeah, as I said, like I'm learning this, so this is all new to me. Just trying to figure it out. Where is this located? Let's find out. Is that a good place? No, not really. How's that? That's good. There we go. Okay, so we need to make, I think it's in Node 3D. It's in Physics 3D, maybe? I'm not sure. As I said, just trying to figure this stuff out myself. Oh, not joint. Collision object. Physics. Character body. Here we go. Okay, so we have this character body. We're gonna do the player. I don't know exactly how we can add a shape to it. Let's see. I'm gonna go through this tutorial a little bit so I can figure out how some stuff works. We should create a Node 3D node as a child of the player. So we'll just add child node, Node 3D. I say name it pivot. Let's see what that's about. Oh, that's where that's supposed to be like the model. So I don't know if I have any basic models in this. Let's see, basic Godot character model. GLB files. Is there a free asset library? That's the question. Free Godot assets. There is an asset library. Okay, that's not quite what I'm looking for. I guess this is something I should have looked up before stream. But hey, as I said, I'm learning it. If anything, we'll just resort to playing a game if I can't figure this out. I'll give it a good old college try, though. Let's see, Godot. How to make a basic cube. Is there like a thing? How far did I get in Pokemon Scarlet? I think I'm 6 badges done. I still have the snow badge. Maybe I'm 7. This isn't C#. It is C# actually. Nice try. Apparently Godot just has a natural thing for C#. So it's fake C#. That's fair. It probably is. taking on the psychic gym and then the normal gym. Yeah, I already have those two. I did the ghost gym, which is up in the mountain, so I think all I've left is the snow one, the ice one. Currently trying to get Llama 2 on my computer. The hell's Llama 2? Is that something that I should know? I feel like I should know it. Oh, okay. I see. To try to get your magic thing going. Just go to 3D tab. It's very simple, actually. Just go to 3D tab, click plus to add a new node, and search for CSG box. CSG. Oh, here we go. Ah, there we go. That's what I'm looking for. So there is basic shapes in this. I was like, you can't have a game engine without basic shapes. That'd be insane. So we can have a cube, or I guess we can try to do a pill. What are the other basic shapes? There's a sphere, there's a polygon, there's a torus, box. Okay, I guess that's fine. Blah blah blah. And if I also do art, throw it under there. It's fine. Here, I guess they still want me to have a node called a pivot. Don't know what the pivot's for, but we'll find out. And this goes as a child. And then they want me to add a new one called a collision shape 3D. On the shape, I would add a sphere shape. I don't want to do a sphere shape. I want to do a, here we go, this shape. A new box shape. I think that's good. I think that's the perfect shape, right? Let's transform. What if we'd make it slightly larger? What's 1.1? Yeah, it's slightly too large. That's good. That's the exact box shape. So we have the collision. We have the actual display of it. Nice. Let's see. Save the scene as player dot. Okay, we shall save the scene as player. So we have a player scene done. So that should be like the player prefab pretty much in Unity. Creating input actions. Now we want to set up moving a player. So in project settings, mouse cursor, window, input pointing. I don't know what any of these are. Oh, input map. Here we go. Show built-in actions. Okay. UI right. UI left. UI up. Okay, so this is the stuff that already exists. So it wants me to create a couple more, so we're gonna do move left, move right, move forward, move backward, jump. Can we add keys to this? Keyboard keys. Left, it's A. Okay, now add another one. Left is also that. Perfect. Move forward is gonna be, or move right is that. Move right is also that. Move forward is that. It is also that. Move backwards that. Nope, that. It is also that. Hey, Rosalie, what's up? Welcome in, welcome in. Jump is spacebar. That's all we're gonna use. How are you today? Okay, so I think we have our basic movement inputs in there. There's a lot of things this. I'm sort of following a tutorial on my right side, just loosely, because I don't want to make the same exact thing they're doing. But I know nothing about this game engine, so kind of gotta know what everything actually means. Ooh, now we gotta actually put in some code. Let's go. This is where I like doing. Attach script. Set the template to empty. Inherits character body. It's player. Create. Hey, look, we actually get some code. This is what I like seeing. So for some reason, I thought this was supposed to be C#. Did I? Oh, I didn't do it in C#. That's my issue. Don't save. So I'm gonna get rid of this and I'm gonna redo it so I can use C#, because I know C#. It's like all I know. Attach script, empty, C#. There we go. Here we are. Export public int speed get set. That didn't work. Get set. Man, this sucks. Why doesn't this thing help me? I'm too used to all the fanciness that I get from Visual Studio. It's the only right place to do it, though. Fall acceleration. Space get set. Equals 75. Don't know what that means, but we'll find out. You don't need private though. I don't know why. Vector 3. Target velocity. Is this to limit the max speed? I'm guessing. Oh, it's its current velocity. I see. Okay, so we're using vector 3. That's sort of like what Unity does. Is there any way to update the editor? Editor settings. It's in English. Inspector themes, editors. There's gotta be a way to set this to. I don't know. To something that's not this. Let's see. Godot engine change editor to C#. Oh, you get to change the editor to actually use an external editor? .NET. .NET editor. You can use Visual Studio. Can I be like, yo, open this? That didn't work. Oh, it did work. Hey! Thank you, Jacob, for the subscription. I really do appreciate it. Okay, so we can use an actual fucking editor. Nice. Okay, so let's code the movement. We start by calculating the input direction vector using the global inputs. Okay. Wait, what is this called? The physics process. I don't know anything. Can you give me more explanation about what the physics process is? The answer is no, it doesn't want to. Public override void physics process. So it's just a thing with a double delta. So we do the classic, we get the direction equals vector 3.0 if inputs. Gotta support the streamer and model siblings. Hell yeah. Is action pressed? I feel like I'm gonna go insane during this stream. But, you know, we're here for the chill vibes, you know? To watch me figure out what the hell is going on in this engine. Sometimes you just gotta start from scratch. This is just sort of how I do it. That didn't work. Why did that work? Is it capital X? Okay, it's capital X. So if we're moving right, we're adding 1 to the direction. We kind of don't really need these. I don't know. You don't need to have those brackets and then you can make it all one line. Because we got to do this. We got to do this 4 times for every direction. So why have them all on separate lines? Or like 3 lines each. So if we move right, that's what we do. We move left. We move forward. And we also move backward. Z is going to be minus. This This is gonna be minus. Perfect. Okay, here we're gonna make calculations using the physics process. Like process allows you to update the node every frame. Oh, okay. So that's what process. So that's like update. But it uses, I guess this is a specific for like physics. I don't know what the difference between physics and process is. So then we gotta normalize it. Oh, okay. So this is saying we want to, if they press both W and D, for example, going like forward and right, it'll consider that it's going faster than 1, so it'll be going 1.4 speed, which makes sense in math-wise. But that makes the character actually move faster at diagonals, so we want to prevent that. So if direction does not equal vector 3.0. What is this doing? What's the look at? Here, let me just type it out and I'll try to decipher what's happening. We get direction equals direction dot normalized. And then they do get node 3D named pivot. So this is how they're rotating the character. So they're finding the pivot node 3D, which was the thing that contains the model. So that's gonna be the direction the character's actually looking. Well, at least the direction that it seems like the character's looking. Vector 3 dot up. So I guess this is basically taking the direction and having the character look a specific direction is what's happening. Interesting. Okay. So next we're gonna change. We're actually gonna move the character. So this is the direction that the character is looking. So at this point we've limited it to 1, so they're only moving 1 per tick, which is what we want. So then we gotta calculate the velocity, which is direction dot x times speed target velocity dot z equals direction z speed. If is on floor, that's a thing that's already calculated. Hold on. Yo, that's amazing if that's already a thing. The floor on the last call. That is awesome. Generally in like Unity and Unreal, you have to make this sort of functionality yourself to determine if you're on the floor or not. But it's really cool that it's already built in. That means, generally if it means if something's built in, you're pretty much good using it, assuming that it's a reputable developer, which the maker of the engine generally is pretty reputable. So you generally want to use it because it's going to be probably the most efficient to be used in this engine. Yeah, it seems like there's a lot of really cool stuff built around this player There's already stuff built in. Like velocity's already a thing. So you don't have to like declare the velocity. And then there's gonna be something called move and slide. So this is the basic character movement, which is pretty nice. Pretty simple. We can make that smaller. This one we can't because it's multiple lines. So that one's stuck there. I would like to clean this up a bit, but I guess we don't have to. Or we kind of need this export since it's Godot, a Godot object. Huh. Okay. So now we want to test this object. Reload. Here we go. So we're going to create a new scene called main. Thank you for the head pat. So we're going to name this main. I don't have a main system. Setting up the game area. Okay, this is something we don't have yet. We need to set up the game area. Create this, save scene as main. Perfect. So main just doesn't have anything. Wait, what's up on main? Oh, right, this is main. That's gonna be confusing. That's fine. Okay, so in main, we want to add a floor to create the static colliders like the floors. We need to use the static body 3D. Require collision shape 3D nodes to define the collision area with the main node selected. Add a static body. Okay. Static body 3D. We're gonna name this ground. Beautiful. And then we're adding a collision shape 3D to this. Collision shape 3D, we're gonna make it a box. We probably want to make it much larger. So transform 60. I don't know how big that is. Oh, that's position. 0. Scale. What do we want our scale to be? Whoops. That's transform to 60. We don't need to link them. It's not really a cube. How's that? Is that good? I don't know how good that is. It's good enough, I think. So now we need to actually render something. Mesh instance. New box mesh. Okay. Transform. 60. Doesn't need to be linked to. There we go. We're gonna move the ground down so we can see the floor grid. What? I don't want to do that. I don't know what that means. Oh, I guess that's what they mean. Whoops. Undo. There you go. That's what they want. We didn't really need to do that, but it's fine. So we have this ground object going. It should have a collision on it. We'll add a light to this. Light. We'll throw this up. I don't know. Maybe 20. We'll rotate it 180. That wasn't right. About 90. 0. 90? No. 90. 270. There we go. I'll move this like 40 up. That should be fine. Okay, so we have our player set up. We have our main floor set up. What happens if I just throw the player in here? I'm not sure. Let's see. Hold on. Player, instant moving player code, designing. Testing our player movement. Instantiate child player. Yo, let's go. Can I click play? Is that all we need? No main scene has ever been defined. Select current. Do I have a camera somewhere? How does the camera work? Yeah, I don't think I have a camera anywhere. The project settings. How do I check my main scene? Builds, interface, GUI. Oh, man, I really don't know what I'm doing. That's fine. I'll figure it out. Whoops. Let's see. Import edit, blah, blah, blah. We don't have any art. That's fine. We don't need art. Not when testing. Eventually we'll need art, but not right now. It's not in the necessity. Okay. Sorry, give me 1 second. I'm just trying to figure out what is happening. Oh, this one has a camera. What? Okay. So that's that. Testing our player movement. Save your character in your main scene. You can click the main tab at the top to do so. Can I have both these open? Is that it? Oh, close this. Is this like something I could do? Oh, I can. Nice. That is super nice. So I instantiated the child. Adding a camera. Okay. There we go. We're going to add a new camera. Maybe a marker. Camera pivots. Okay, so they always do this pivot thing so that like the camera's always looking at something. The icon left of the script icon on the node will open that scene in a new tab. The icon left of the script. This thing? On the node. You mean Jace? Yeah, Jace is asleep in the other room at this point. The player node. Oh, this thing. Oh, I see. Nice. That's cool. Thanks. I see. That's awesome. What are you yelling at me at? Yeah, it's fine. We'll figure that out. Yeah, Jace is always sleeping in the other room. He's just constantly asleep. But welcome in, Jackal. Welcome in. I'm not new to game development. I'm very new to Godot, so that is the current situation. Okay, so we can preview this. Oh, there we go. That's not what we want. Shouldn't we attach this to our player? I guess it's fine. We can just test it out right now. Jace is... Let's see, I got him in college. My senior year of college. And I've had a job for 6 years, so he's 7. Yeah, about 7, I think, at this point. 6, yeah. He's almost 7. He's like 6 and I think his birthday's in November, so practically 7. Yeah, he's been around a little bit. He's not a puppy. He's not an old man yet. Wow, I've had him for 7 years. That's... Whew. You never realize like how long you've been out of college until you actually sit down and think about it, you know? View. Oh, okay, there we go. Oh, crap. I want to move the entire thing as an object. What's going to be the day I graduate high school? Damn. Okay, so we're just going to move the transform up 30 maybe. That might be too high, but we'll find out. We'll rotate the 270. Do we want an angle? Maybe. Let's do 200. Oof, now we're upside down. We'll do 60. I can't tell what I'm looking at, I want to be honest. 0. So 60's up. So if we just do negative 30, negative 60, and negative 90, and not 90, is 70. And we move this back maybe 20. That was the wrong direction. 20. Sure, that works. Can we change the mesh color of our character so they're not blue? Is there a color thing on here? Is this like I have to... You use the camera handles to rotate and adjust? Yeah, like, you're talking about like this stuff? Yeah, I know that. I was just throwing in some values to see what's up. I've had my parrot Lola since I was 6. She's a sassy bird. What type of... Oh, I guess it's a parrot. Is there just a typical parrot? I don't know if there's different types of parrots. The mesh should have a material. Okay. So we're using the CSG box 3D. You're saying there's a material in here somewhere? Is that under visual? Albedo. Node. Should I use something different from a CSG? I don't know what the CSG box 3D is versus a mesh. Oh, here we go. New shader, new standard material. Could we just make this like a... Oh, there we go. Okay. She's a green Amazon parrot. Nice. What happens if I press play now? Huh? Let's find out. I don't know what's gonna happen. Hey, look, we have a new camera. It's moving around. Look at that. Something's happening. So one thing I want to do now at this point, since we're trying to remake our very chatty knows how to use Alexa, it has catfish people. Holy shit. Quite the fucking parrot. Okay, so left is working, right is working. Forward is going seemingly back, but I don't know exactly. Okay, so we're gonna try to recreate Runeless RPG in this system. So what we want to do is we want to move the camera from here onto the player. I hope that functions as we expect it to function. I believe Z is forward. Yeah, we have... I think we just gotta flip the directions, because this... I'm pressing W, and it seems like I'm going back. Or maybe the other way is flipped. Just drag it to the player node, and it will follow. Yeah, I assumed that's what I assumed. If I go in here... Oh, can I just always have it on the player? So if I go like that, click save, stop this. I actually, okay, so we'll just see what happens. What was that? Unable to write. Okay. Okay, so now it's following it. Okay, so that's step one. The directions are still kind of messed up, I feel. But it's now following the player, which is a good thing. Let us... Don't know what that means. Negative Z is actually forward in Godot. That is a good thing to note. Thank you very much. If we look at the... So we gotta flip this, is what you're saying. Reload. Oh, it's all good. Any help's welcome at this point. I just like messing in 3D because I'm not really great at 2D art. And that's what I generally do in yeah, it's all good. This is that I'm just here trying to figure stuff out. Oh, ads are going on. Rip. Okay, so the directions are seemingly correct. We gotta zoom in though, because now we're way too far. We want to move this closer, so this transform needs to go closer. So maybe, I don't know, maybe 10 by 10. Probably want to go closer. The question is, do we want to have it like a third person so we can see our character? Or do we want it to be like a first person camera, like we did for the other one? One. That's way too close. Also, you can use input.getAccess versus isActionPressed because that will return -1 or 1 based on the action pressed. Sorry, let me try to decipher that. Oh, so this is just one or... This is just one or -1, is what you're saying. You're saying there is an input get access. Oh, that's a strength. I see. So if I do like move right, that'll just be like the strength. Negative action, positive action. Move right. Move left, like that. And that'll be like direction X. This is negative action, positive action. So other way around. So if we do direction X, and direction Z, and negative action is move forward, positive action is move backward. Okay, let's give that a try. Reload. So we might want to angle this more like -60, -40, -25. That works. You might want to back this up like 2-2. Looks good. Save that. Go to main, click play. Okay, so one thing I'm noticing is the camera's not rotating with it, which is fine. Whoa, I fell off. Okay. But I think it was fun. Yeah, I want to see what's happening up here. I guess it's not directly related, it's only in-game thing. Okay. Yeah, I did see that there was a spring arm, so I'm gonna probably try to figure out how to use that. Because it looked like there's a nice fancy spring arm 3D. If I just throw that under here. I guess we don't really need a pivot anymore then, because we don't really need to rotate the camera. So we're gonna move the camera just directly to the spring arm. Delete the camera pivot. We don't need the camera pivot anymore. Camera. Spring arm. And how does this work? This is camera's gonna have 0 rotation, 0 transform. What does the spring arm do? Spring arm length is 1. So how does the spring arm work? Will it just work if I have like 2 length? Here's maybe the hydrate and stretch. Ugh. I have like most of a smoothie left, so like not most. I have like a little bit left, so I don't want to drink it because it's gonna make like that stupid straw noises. But I love smoothies. My date did. Okay, so I'm gonna pull up the documentation. Godot spring arm. How does this work? The drop in and auto work. I would still probably need to like angle my camera, right? Just do the tweaking. Okay, yeah, so I kind of want to angle it. Shows, do I need to angle the spring arm? Because this is 2 meters away, I can tell. It's just kind of behind it. Do I angle the spring arm? Is that the spring arm rotation? I didn't even see how the spring arm works. Can I do the tweaking while it's live? Is that a thing I could do in this in Godot? And I can angle the cam. Can I like okay, so I do rotate the spring arm. So I guess that's how I can get it. I can do that typical code to get it to follow. Let's do this -45. Here we go. So now we have like an overhead shot. Probably want to do like -25 or whatever. And probably move it up. With Z2. No. Move it up 1. Here we go. So now we have the spring arm like, so the character's at the bottom. So now if we rotate the spring arm, yeah, it rotates around the character. Okay, so now when we move a character, we want to be able to rotate a character. So A and D, we want to rotate the character and not move forward. Okay. Okay, so I can't quite tell what I mean, it's moving around. We're at a 45-degree angle. Oh, what's the camera? I didn't mean to rotate this. 0. There we go. Okay, so there we go. So now we're moving around. We have kind of a third-person view. Beautiful. So now, as I said, I want to make it so that A and D will rotate the character instead of actually moving the character themselves. So let's take a look at the code. So move left and right is kind of the one we want to do rotation and not movement. Yeah, tank controls. I mean, I would rather have... Actually, I'd rather keep this. I'd rather have mouse control the way your character's looking. So I guess not tank controls. We want this control. We want to just also move our characters, like rotate them. But we don't want them to look at, so we don't want this part. So if I do that, we'll just get rid of the rotation. Okay, yes, that gets rid of rotation. So we don't want that rotation, but we want to rotate the camera and the player. That begs the difference. Like, do I want to put the spring arm attached to the pivot then? And not the player themselves? So I'm thinking. I'm just trying to design a basic control scheme for maybe an RPG. Because RPGs, you kind of like move your camera around, which will rotate your character. So that'll be your character's pivot. So the camera's kind of attached to your pivot. Asset lib tab that you can download and check out. Where's the asset library thing? Is that a thing in Godot? Top middle. Oh, right there. I see. Duh. Oh, fancy. Yeah, I recognize that thing. Okay. Search third person. Oh. Maybe it's third person. I think I might keep trucking away on my own. I mean, I love using other people's stuff, but especially when I'm just learning it, I'd rather try to code all my own stuff for now. It'll just help me with my learning process. I'll definitely check these out though, because I didn't know it was right here. It's super useful. That'd be super helpful if I do like a game jam or something to quickly get a locomotion in there. I heard there's like there's Godot like monthly game jams, right? That's fair. That's fair. I guess that's a good point. So third. Can you easily just add and remove these stuff? I guess it's just files, right? Inflicts on my current projects. I don't want to deal with that. Create like a new project, maybe. I guess Godot is really easy to open, so it's like whatever. Third person. My files. Hey, Mura, welcome in. Welcome in. Thank you for the raid. How is it going? Testing. Okay, so I'm gonna create a new project quickly because I want to check it out. Layers of Fear. I have not played that. How'd it go? Just finished a bit of it. In the editor settings? Okay, let me check. Hold on, I gotta create this new one. As you might not just tell, I bet you could tell, I literally just downloaded this like yesterday. Because I'm all tired of all Unity stuff, so I'm like, let's learn this. Let's learn this new place, this new thing. It's a spoopy game. I got scared more than enough times to count. Fair, fair. Well, welcome in, welcome in. Feel free to lurk and go get some water, you know, take a break or whatever. You're also free. Feel free to hang out on chat if you want. This is kind of just a chill stream. We're just kind of learning a new game engine, chatting. Hopefully I can figure this out eventually. Thank you, thank you. File system, directories. Stop showing my files on stream. God damn. Select the current file. There we go. Awesome, thanks. Okay, so we have this new third person. Let's go download that thing to see what they do. Third person. I'll check out what this one is. Install. Okay. Playground, I assume, is. Let's see what they have. No main scene, select current. Oh, they locked my camera. Okay, so the camera just moves the camera. There's a lot of things in the debugger. Is this supposed to be for a controller? Woo! Nah, you're good. Guys, we're getting a lot of errors. So all the inputs aren't existing. Did I not install everything I needed to? Can I just... Yeah, everything's conflicting. That's fine. Okay, that didn't work. Probably a reload? What do you mean, reload? Can I reload the... Like, close and reopen it? Or we'll just try reopening it. Project file reload. Oh, reload current project. I see. Got it. Okay, still a lot of errors. I can't leave because it locks your mouse. I assume that's pretty much what closing and reopening it does. Many setup keys. That's a lot. Okay, so it seems like they locked it. Is there add-ons? Third-person template. I'm just gonna look at code because that's what my whole thing is. I'm a software developer, so code is kind of my thing. Okay, so they have 3 walk cycles. Jump, attack 1. So they have aim, sprint. They add a dash timer. Yeah, I can still read it. It's fine. I may be a C# developer, but I can still read other code. Attack 1, attack 2, attack 3, roll attack. So they have rolling in this too. So this is the tick update for physics. Huh, okay. I guess that's checking for all the inputs. While springing? Once a code, always a code, right? When you've seen one language, you pretty much have seen them all. Or at least can vaguely read them all. This is I find this really cool in Godot that they have this is on floor function. That's just kind of built in. Because I know I always hated trying to make that for Unity and Unreal because you have to like actually, unless you get a library, you have to actually code it all yourself. So it's really cool. It's actually just built in. Jump inputs is on wall, it is on ceiling. That's cool. Do you know how they tell if it's a wall or ceiling? Is there like some property at the set? That's one thing I haven't checked yet, or haven't gotten to yet in the... I assume this tutorial that I've been following will tell me how to do that. Jumping and squashing monsters. Is it a layer thing? So there is a layer thing. The vector 3.up is set in the move and slide. That determines if it's on the wall or not. The character 3D should have some property settings. Okay, so like the actual player themselves will have a property setting. Oh, here we go. That's the up vector and tell it what the floor is. How does that work if there's like... I feel like I'll have to figure that one out, but if there's like different levels, is that like... I don't know, I'm gonna have to dive in that later to figure that out. How it actually works. So when they press forward, they get action straight left, action straight right, forward. So they create their vector 3 this way. I don't know about 3, 4 is on wall and ceiling, but 2D has them. Okay, I can see that. I mean, I don't know. I still have to look and see what they do because I feel like I don't. I have no idea. Like because I'm just trying to think if you have like a multi-level, floor. Is it determined by vector 3 up location, or is it like the location from the ground? You know what I mean? Forward direction dot rotated. It's H rot. Is the camera global transform? Okay, so it's taking the camera's rotation for the direction input. Okay. So I think that's what I wanted to try to do. It checks the surrounding collisions of the player. Oh, I see. So you're saying like if it's collision on the bottom, then you're saying, oh yeah, you're on the floor. I see what you're saying. That makes sense. I guess that's how it works. That's how you actually have the code in the other one. It's pretty much what you had to do. You have to do a vector down or up negative, and then see if anything was colliding with it, and it would determine if it's on the floor. That makes sense. I guess I don't know why I didn't just apply what you do for the other stuff. They probably are doing the same thing. I once made a in Unity I had to make or I didn't have to, but I made a wall running Titanfall like movement system that had a lot of that going on, and I hated it. So that's why I'm so happy that there's something built in. Yeah, I mean, that would be nice. I mean, if I do a more advanced movement system, I probably would have to. But just for basic shit, I'm happy just using theirs. And for an RPG, I don't need to have wall running unless like it's based on movement, you know? But I think we're good on that. Okay, so I think I got so I'm gonna get the camera rotation and use that as my forward direction, which is what this line is doing. Which then I guess they probably do where's the direction? Oh, they do a lerp. Okay. Oh, that's during the rolls and attacks. Oh, they still do a lerp to get the velocity, and then do move and slide. Okay. Well, I'm gonna just have this over here for reference for myself. And we're gonna go back to our other game, the actual Runeless RPG. So what we want to do is we want to get the forward direction of the camera, which I guess we don't want to. Sorry, I'm thinking. So I guess we don't want to. I guess we could separate the camera from the pivot. So when we move the input for our mouse, I gotta see how we do the mouse stuff. How does the camera get rotated? Oh, there's an animation tree going on. That makes sense. Big attack, sprint and roll, inputs. If event is input event mouse motion. So this is how they do mouse stuff. Oh, ready's like the instantiate. Okay. Direction is already determined. back rotated vector up where the camera is looking. Dot y. What is camera H? Is that like a predetermined thing? I guess it is Python. That's probably what it's doing for that, getting that. Yeah, we'll figure it out. So I guess it's called public override void ready. And in ready, we wanna what is vector 3 targets direction equals vector 0. Sure. Actually, we're determining it in the ready, so we don't need to declare it. So in ready, this is like when it starts up, right? Yeah, let's enter the seed tree. So that's when it's instantiated. So what that will do, target equals vector 3 dot back dot rotated vector 3 dot up angle. What do we have for the angle in this one? This is the camera angle. Okay, so instantiated is when it's instantiated. Ready is when it's actually in the tree and being called on. Okay, so it's ready's after it's actually spawned and generated then. Got it. How do we get... Wait, how do we get... Where was it? We already got pivot somewhere, right? Oh, it was here. Here, let me undo this quickly. I'm like, just copy this. Okay. So there's a get node Godot pivot. So what we're gonna do is get node camera spring arm. Dot basis dot global transform dot basis dot is it y? Get Euler dot y. Okay, so this should rotate it based on... Should be looking the direction that the spring arm is rotated, which is the target direction. Got it. Sorry, I'm just thinking. Okay. Okay. Target direction. Perfect. So now we want to do whenever mouse inputs happening. So there seems to be an input event. If I don't know why they do it this way. This is kind of weird to me. If at event equals input event mouse motion. Input event C node input is. Can I just do is? It works. Nice. I'm just guessing. This is what you get from guessing. So they have another one called a floats aim turn, which equals 0. And so aim turn equals negative event dot relative event dot. Let's see what's in an input event. What do we got? Set device is action pressed. It's canceled. X formed. I guess at this point we've determined that's an input event mouse. So that's what we should probably be looking at. Is this thing. Which is the relative. String names. Get relative, I guess. Do I need to do get relative? What's this? So I got to inputs event mouse motion. It definitely does. I really do appreciate it. I've definitely noticed that it's, I don't know, between the Unity and Godot communities, it definitely seems like Godot is kind of friendlier. I've definitely met a lot more Godot people who are willing to help out than I've met Unity people, which is really cool. Okay, so I need to declare event as an input mouse. I gotta remember how to do this. Let's see, C#. It definitely seems like it, which is really, as I said, it's really cool. Especially since like most people in Godot are like, I don't know, are indie devs just learning and having fun and, making cool games. Where Unity's a little bit more, I don't want to say it's a little bit more professional, but like people are trying to make like actual games to sell. I mean, I'm not saying that Godot isn't, but it's just newer. So it's all about learning, seeing what the system can do. At least that's the vibes I get, Plus, it seems like Godot, I don't know, they push some of their there's like a monthly game jam, right? Yeah, monthly Godot game jam that goes for like a week. At least I know one of my other VTuber friends told me that. C# Godot. Getting mouse inputs. I learned by helping too, as I may not try some things others. Oh, definitely. I love doing that. That's definitely one of my top things to do. Like, you could be watching me giving me advice, but you could be like, wow, that's an interesting way to approach it, sort of thing. Event mouse motion. Oh, okay. So we can just go event mouse motion. And this is now an input. Whoops. Oh my god. Yeah, it's definitely a really cool way to approach learning. Especially if, like, you just love doing it. Like, you don't care. Like, you just want to learn more. And I mean, that's kind of like anything, to be honest. Like, that's how you improve as a streamer. Is like, you watch your own stuff, but you also watch other people to see what they do. Like, it's not all about your own stuff. Oh, it definitely is, yeah. Okay, so this is the answer I found online. We're gonna roll with it to see if it works. Halls of Torment and Brotato are 2 games made in Godot. Well, that's cool. I think I... okay. Yeah, that's a good game. I know Brotato. That one's pretty cool. Yeah, I mean, Godot's just a newer... Like, that's why they don't have a lot of those larger games yet. Right? It's a relatively newer system. I've sort of known about it for a couple of years now, but I haven't really dove into it until this whole Unity stuff started happening. I was like, I gotta check it out. Okay, so we got that going. So what do we do with it? So what do they do with aim turn? They don't do anything with it. What's the point of having aim turn then, huh? Okay, so they update their direction based off of aim. Okay, so I want to rotate the camera now based off of this vertical and horizontal. Probably just horizontal. We'll figure it out. So if I get my camera, which is this. All right, this is my camera. Our camera. And then I do camera dot, is there a rotate? Vector 3 axis. So if I go vector 3 dots up, I'm just guessing because I'm not sure. Horizontal. This is kind of what I do. I just kind of guess on a lot of stuff and hope that it works. We're gonna see what that happens. Like if we move our mouse around, what happens? Okay, so I think ×5 is kind of too much. But it seems to be rotating how I wanted it. Okay, so it seems to be rotating how I want it to be. Just I think ×5 is kind of insane. Maybe we don't need ×5. Maybe we need just 1. What would 1 be? I still think 1's probably gonna be too much, but screw it. We're gonna go for it. Okay, so a little bit too much. I think we need to bump it down like a whole shit ton. So what if we do... Then it gets set mouse mode to lock. Yeah, I was gonna look that up next, how to lock the mouse. Is that just... We probably want to do with it ready. Is that just like... Mouse... Mode? Mouse... Ooh, I don't know. Input, set mouse mode. Set custom mouse cursor. Set mouse. Oh, input mouse mode. Equals. Confined and hidden, I assume. Maybe captured? Captured. What was I doing? Right. I was gonna make it maybe 0.1. Sure. Failed build project. Not convert from double to floats. Thank you. God, I hate floats. So much. Okay, that still feels like a lot. And the mouse is captured. The question is, how do you exit? Is there a button to exit? Stop running project. F8. Got it. If you don't want to reload the player script each time, just close it in the Godot. Like the player? Scripts. I guess, yeah, we're just close. I see. I understand. Okay. So this still seems like a lot. Did it not save? That is the question. Is there a way I can have like a variable, like a public variable? Is that what this one is? Is this like a variable I can transform in here, maybe? Script. Oh, here we go. Yeah. Okay, we're gonna mess with this, see if that works. So we're gonna add another one. Export public int rotation. Rotation speed. Oops, wrong one. Public float. Yeah, I mean, I found that I can just press F8 to close the game, so I think I'm gonna roll with that for now. Good old Alt F4 also works. That is true. So I have this new public. The question is how do I get it to reload? Which I feel like I just screwed myself by unreloading. Because I want to do this. Projects. I don't want to reload the entire project. Just save and build. There we go. Perfect. Thank you. So that still seems like way too much. I'm gonna... How small does that have to be? Just... actually, I didn't update the thing, so it's not even using this yet. So we're gonna change this to that. Okay, so... Okay. So I found an issue. It's only ever rotating in one direction. So that is something. What do we gotta do? So this is horizontal position Y. Times speed. Rotate. Can I do a... What's the debugger in this? Console.log. Right line. Horizontal. Will this actually write it to the Godot console? Errors, monitor, misc, output. So it's not throwing it anywhere in there. Do I have to attach this? Try to rotate object local. Okay, that's fine. Rotate object local. Rotate the local transformer around the x-axis. Okay. Oh my god. I don't think that worked. I'm gonna be honest. Okay, so rotate. We have a horizontal position. Maybe it's not position. Times rotate speed. What is rotate speed? Oh, that's the thing I just did. Okay. Bar rotation is vector 3, relative y, relative x, normalized. When it normalized, doesn't that just make it like 1? I don't want y and x though. I just want to rotate it only around the y. Maybe it's not position. Because my positions might always be positive. So it's... Maybe it's event, mouse motion dot, relative. Maybe that's what it is. Because I think anything I'm moving is technically going to be in the positive area. Okay, so I'm moving forward and backwards, so I have the wrong direction. But I do have it rotating both ways. So that is working. I just don't have the right mouse direction. So this is going to be Z. Oh, it's X. Then what I have, Y? What was it before? Okay, so it's X. Okay, there we go. So we're moving right, so we just gotta flip it. Negative. So we're moving left, moving right. Okay, so it's still a little bit fast. We also want to move it based on our camera. So it's still rotating fast. Is it infinite in the speed? That's why we want to normalize it. I see. I see. Do we want to normalize it though? We probably want to just make it less. How much less? Like another 0 less? Okay, I mean that's pretty good. Like you can still do it, but like still reasonably move left and right. I like that. So I like how the thing still rotates the direction it's looking, but we gotta make its direction. You can lerp it to make it smoother. Lerp the rotation. Haven't made games before. Yes, I have made plenty of games before. I mainly use Unity. I did a little bit in Unreal. And I am a software developer. So I'm pretty experienced in coding. I've made some games. Haven't really released anything yet, but just, you know, personal projects. Yeah, welcome in. Welcome in, Sleepy. Welcome in. I accept everyone and everyone here. But yes, I'm pretty experienced in making games. Just not Godot. I'm trying to learn Godot. I mean, a small amount of smoothing, as we all know it, can make it feel laggy. That's true. You're trying to lerp. I was just trying to see what... I'm trying to get my movement down right now. because we have our camera. So we have this basic movement system. I just set up the camera so it's rotating, so the camera rotates. And it's moving, it can move around. Hi, do I have any ideas what I want to do with Godot while/after I learn? I'm not sure. I have plenty of game ideas, but I was thinking about trying to do some of the game jams that are coming up. Giving a try to that. I also just like, you know, learning the systems, messing around with them, getting some basic systems going, and then teaching others. It's kind of my whole jam. That's what I did with the Unity, pretty much. Needs a parameter of 3 things if you're interested. I mean, I'll take a look. It'll definitely pop up. I mean, lerp's just to have it so that it's not like 0 to 100, right? That just adds a curve to the actual rotation. Right? Am I mistaken? Welcome in, Sleepy. Welcome to the database. Thanks for the follow. Yeah, I'm not sure I need it for the rotation. Probably want it for the movement, though. Or the actual character rotation, I guess. Like the actual... this look at thing. Might. So, what is lerp? Is it a vector3.lerp? What is it? Good. There's also a lerp angle. Just lerp. So I guess the thing is I might want to... the only thing I might want to lerp is this look at. So this is rotating the pivot to what am I looking at. So you're saying lerp is the thing? Oh, that's fair. Vector 3 has slurp and lerp. I'd be able to help better if I'd ever done anything in 3D. Yeah, I mean, a lot of my stuff I did in Unity was all in 3D, so I'm not... Slurp the vector. Glorious, glorious. So I want to... I want to try to lerp this rotate look at. So I see that there's a tween interpolate. Used for manual interpolation of value. So is tween like an animator? Is that what that is? Yeah? Okay. Cool. Global scope lerp, but with support for custom transition easing. Initial value? What's the initial value? Is that just... Oh, okay. Is there another thing for... interpolate value? I guess that's what it is. So if I want to do rotation of look at, let's see. You can do a lerp angle with rotation, rotation plus get angle. Bar tween, get to tree, create tween. You have to declare at the beginning. Oh, is that it creates? That's creating a new node. I go about lerping direction. Lerp direction, transform basis times vector 3 of the input direction and input y. You normalize that, then you do the delta times lerp speed. And that gets the direction. So that'll be the position plus direction. But that's like not like, oh my god, my model just freaked out. That was insane. That's like this look at's just happening all at once. It's not doing like over time. So, but I guess this happens every tick, right? That makes sense. So he slowly ooh, whoops. I just hit my mic. Sorry about that. So you just do it slowly over time to turn. I don't know if I care about that. At least right now. It smooths it out. I don't think you can change how lookout rotates. Is it just something I have to like... What's the overload? Use model front equals false. Meow. No, meow you. Okay, I think I'm gonna just scrap that for now. That's not really like my biggest priority. I want to get my character to rotate. Oop, failed build. I left something in there, didn't I? I did. So I want to get my camera. So my camera rotates, but I want my character to move based on the direction of the camera. So this direction, I want to set up the direction to be looking that direction, if that makes sense. I feel like I said direction like 20 times there. It's all good. So I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna get camera rotation. And we're gonna update the direction. X, Z. It's gonna be target direction. Target direction's updated at the beginning. And then we'll do the same thing so that the target direction's updated whenever this is moved. So this is going to be... Oops. Camera. So target direction should be whatever direction the camera is looking at. Which I guess we don't really need a global variable for that, but it's whatever. We're rolling with it. So we want to get direction X, so the velocity is... So we want to rotate. No, we don't want to rotate. We want to move. So the direction X, we want to add to direction dot X. We want to add plus equal target direction dot X. Maybe. I don't know. Let's find out. Okay, I get it. The project failed. You could... Okay, so we're rotating. What is happening? Oh, I'm constantly moving my character by rotating. Okay, that wasn't quite what I wanted. Okay, target direction. That makes sense. That's whatever we're looking, it's going to be moving there. Why do I use an outside editor? I'm a software developer, IRL, and I'm just used to using Visual Studio. That's what I use every day at work. So, I don't know, preference, I guess. That is also true. I have noticed that there's no autocomplete for C#. So we probably want to do... You should give the Godot editor a try. You say that, but autocomplete for C#, you know? And as I said, I use this daily, so I'm just used to it. Like, I'm pretty quick at using this editor. Why use C#? Because I'm a C# developer. I do C# every day. I'm way more experienced in C#, and I like C#. So why would I want to use Python if I could use C#? That's where I'm at least for that stance. At least for now, maybe I'll switch over. I don't know the benefits of using GDScript versus C#. There's probably some slight benefit of doing it, but it seems to be an innate support for C#, so I'm gonna try C# while I'm learning it. You know? No reason to make it harder for myself trying to learn a new system. GDScript is good for 90% of the projects. Is there a 10% it's not good for? C# isn't really fully developed for Godot yet. I mean, that's fair. But as I said, like, for now, at least, I'm brand new to Godot, so might as well slowly convert over. If I know C#, I don't have to try to learn a new language by using GDScript. So I'm going to stick to C# for now, and then I'll figure that out later. If I can, you know, just use a language I already know and not have to both learn a new engine and a new language. Makes it a lot easier. So when I switch over to GDScript, I'll probably use the in-thing editor. The 10% is we need a bit faster computations. Is that using C# better in that terms? Because it seems like C# is pretty new for Godot. I don't know how developed it is. I mean, I assume it's probably perfectly fine to use. Like, if it's in the language, it's not going to be like only partly there. If functionality worked well for what you need it for, but the engine compile stuff better with GDScript. Yeah, no, fair. I assume it probably compiles better. But yeah, as I said, for now, I'm going to stick to C#. Probably, I don't know, in a couple more streams, I'll probably switch over to GDScript just after I learned the engine a little bit and get used to it. As I said, it makes it a lot easier when I know part of the system, like C# and Visual Studio. I assume C#'s probably like how the other languages are in other engines, where it works, but like when it basically is compiling it into GDScript when it's actually building the game finally. So technically there's a lot of efficiency problems in between there. So that's what I'm assuming is happening with C#. So like if I want to make the most efficient game, I'll probably switch to GD script. Right. Is that a fair statement, Sleepy? I would assume that's probably what the issue is. But obviously now I'm not making an efficient game, so it doesn't really matter. As I said, I'll slowly transition over to using the actual innate language. I'm excited for Spooky Game Month. Most that use GD script from C# don't really complain and grow to like it. I mean, it's not that bad. Like, it is Python, as I said, so it's not like too insane of a conversion. So I'm not worried about using GD scripts. It's just like, for now, I don't know GD scripts. I know C#, and so I'm just trying to learn the basics of the engine. So yeah. I've said it multiple times. I'll slowly convert over to GD script. I'm just using C# because that's what I'm used to. I'm using Visual Studio since that's what I'm used to. When I learn the engine, and then I'll start using GD script. And when I use GD script, I probably won't use Visual Studios because there's no point. So I'll probably then use the in-game or the in-engine editor. I've tried C#, but I keep going back to GD script. Fair. C# is for storing and computation, while GD script is for the engine itself. Oh, that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm assuming how they have C# set up for the engine is that it basically is a layer over GD script. So when the game is compiled and stored, like for its final build, it probably takes the C# and converts it into GD script, which is what the game engine runs off of. As I said, that's how like a lot of the engines do it. Like, that's how you can have C# and stuff for Unreal. But they basically just take the C# and convert it into the lower tier languages, which is how programs are actually built and executed, right? But yeah, as I said, like right now I'm learning C#. I'll switch over to GD script. I'm never gonna use GD script. Just for the next couple streams, I'll probably be using C# and maybe slowly convert over. Like, this is kind of just a project to learn the basics. That's what the stream's about. I'm not really worried about. This won't be a final game, you know. I'll probably start using. I know Jackal was showing me all the asset libraries. Like, I'll probably be using these more too, or creating my own asset libraries and using them. Yeah, I mean, definitely. So, yeah, I mean, that's my ideology right now. I'm not jumping full head into it. I'm just taking the parts slowly to convert it over. So, yeah. What was I doing? Oh, right. So we only probably want to do this. How do I do this? So the input, we only want to do the input direction x times speed velocity. Back in 3.x Godot, I used a Lua add-on bit. Dang, that's... I don't know Lua. I know JavaScript. I know a little bit of Python, which is why I'm not against using it. But I'm pretty rusty on Python. I'm a C# developer, and I use HTML and Blazor and all that stuff on the front end. I know C++ back when I used Unreal. C#, obviously, Unity uses C#. My current job uses C#. There's JavaScript. There's TypeScript, which I used on my last job. I used PHP for my last job too, so I was 5 years of experience as a PHP developer. So I have a lot of experience in code, so I'm not worried about trying and learning a new code. I just don't want to kind of throw it all on myself all at once, because that kind of... Just all the then and else and yeah, totally. I totally get that. Okay, so what's happening is when we're moving our mouse, our character's also moving. Right, because target direction. I don't know if this target direction is correct. How do we... Sorry, I'm trying to think of... So target direction isn't what we want to do. We want to rotate the character, then do a forward. So we want to update the rotation when they move, based on where we're at. So we don't want to update the direction. We want to rotate the player. That makes sense. So we want to update the player on the target. What does the move and slide do? Can we just do rotate? Target direction? But rotate only takes one axis. Do we have to do it like separately? Do we have to do like vector? We only want to rotate... no. Oh, this is what the Euler's for. It's getting the direction of the Y. And then rotate vector 3 dot up. Get the Y direction. Camera, we don't have camera, so we'll get node spring arm. Okay, so this, we don't really need target direction. That seems like a worthless thing at this point. I don't know why I did that. Aim turn, we also don't need that. Doesn't really do anything. So this should rotate it. So we want to rotate it first, then move it. So we're going to do this at the very beginning. We're just going to rotate it and then move it. Wait, if it's not equal 0. Okay, so we want to... We only want to rotate it if it's not equal 0. Otherwise, we're always going to keep it rotated. Here we go. Okay, let's try this. Okay, so we're rotating. If we... Guys, I don't know if that's right. I'm going to be honest. I don't think this is right. Mr. Stark, I don't feel so good. So what I think is happening, just based on looking at this, is that the camera is looking at direction. The character's rotating, but it's not rotating the camera with it. Oh, no, we are... No, we're not rotating the camera with it. Which we want to rotate the camera to. So we want to rotate this. We want to rotate it to 0. And at this point, we have this called twice, so we'll do var camera equals that. We'll use camera. Okay, so it's rotating it a lot still. Oh. Okay, I'm sort of confused what's happening now. So it's rotating a whole shit ton when it's moving. Oh, it's rotating 0. I want to set its rotation to 0. So it didn't really do anything. Dot global rotation. Can I just set its rotation? Rotation dot y equals 0. Is that legal? Can I do that? No, I can't. Can I just... Is there like a rotate to 0? Transform dot... Is that what look at does? No, to look at makes it look... So is this like a starting position? So I guess we probably want to do like a vector 3 camera starts. And in the ready, we'll do a camera starts equals new vector 3. What do we have? 0. What were things on this? Camera, what do we got? Negative 25, 0, 0. Negative 25, 0, 0. Is that... let's hope that's good. So we'll do camera start, and then we'll just look at camera start. Look at... Is it set rotation? Do we have a set rotation? Set rotation of an object in Godot. So I don't want to rotate around the object, I just want to set the rotation directly. Can I just be like... row... Is that legal? Yes, it is. Let's try it. Like, screw it. I don't know what I'm doing. Yo, what up, Nate? Welcome in, welcome in. Oh my god, it's really struggling here. It's still rotating for some reason. It's gotta be something with this whole thing right here. How goes the game dev? I mean, it's going. I don't know how well, but it's going. I'm learning. That's what it's all about. So I feel like it has something to do with this. Do we have to do global? Transform. Dot rotation. Rotation. What is this trying to do? Rotate it by Y. It should be a float. But I'll rotate it pretty quickly. Like, what am I trying to do? So when the movement is not 0, we want to set the player rotation to the camera rotation. Like, that's all we want to do. So what we can do is we could be like var new rotation equals new vector 3 rotation dot x rotation dot y z. So that's the new rotation is currently set to the current player's rotation. We want to set the y to the camera rotation y. And then we just set rotation equals new rotation. And then we're moving the camera back to the camera start, which the camera start isn't quite what I wanted. I don't think -25 is what I want. This because this is not Euler. This is in degrees. Right, because this is like not degrees, like vector 3 camera start. So convert Euler to vector 3. I should specify that I'm doing Godot. Set rotation degree. That's a thing? So if I do set rotation, Didn't work. Rotation dot sets degree. What if we just put a 0 point? There we go. Screw it. F. We're guessing. Probably just rotation degrees. We failed. That's fair. Converted from a double to an int. Sorry, to a float. What line was that on? 22. Thank you for the hydrate and the stretch. Ugh. $22. Oh, I think I fixed it before I even realized it. Okay, so we could rotate. Okay, so when I move, the camera snaps to behind the character. The character didn't rotate, so that's, you know, we got one thing going though. So that's something. But we want to rotate the character. So this rotation didn't work. Like this line didn't work. Camera rotation dot Y. Is it maybe not Y? Is it maybe X? I don't know. Or Z, I mean, sorry, not X. I can't read. Okay, so that didn't work. It's not X, is it? It's probably not anything. It's not doing any of the rotations. If we do this rotation, it should like rotate that camera like up and down, which I don't think is right. Oh, it's like, I mean, it did rotate it. We are at an angle somehow. So it did do the X. Okay, so X is definitely not the one we want, but... like, I'm pretty sure it's Y. Camera start. 0. I have a feeling... I have a weird feeling that it might be a race condition. Okay. So if I look that way and press back. So we're moving at an angle now, which is definitely correct. Like that that's what we want at that point. So it's a race condition. You guys don't know what that is, you know? Now, basically what's happening, I think this is happening at the same time as this. So when it does this camera rotation Y, it's basically using this new, like the new rotation Y, which is the camera start, which is 0. So technically we want to be like, oh yeah, this is a new vector 3. Thank you for the head pats. Welcome in, Zucchini. Am I winning? I'm doing all right. I mean, I'm trying to figure out this stuff, but it's all complex. The weird thing is that I don't want it to be local. Like, this seems to be a global rotation. It's a local transform of radiance. I don't know. I'm kind of lost. This isn't even like specifically Godot stuff. This is kind of just general stuff. But this is what you get from a third-person camera. It always gets confusing like this. This is why my last game I kind of just like, screw third person, I'm just doing first person, and we're just rotating the entire thing. Okay, so there's some weird stuff happening there. I don't quite know what's happening. So we can move forward, we can move back, we can move left, we can move right. But if I rotate it slightly, I'm gonna look at the angle. So we expect us to go forward towards that. Which we've rotated, but I don't think it actually changed the rotation of the actual object. Yes, happy Monday. I mean, I'm glad that Monday's over. So do you guys think I should mess with this third person a little bit more, or should I try to just go first person and continue on? Because I don't know, this requires a lot of thinking. I'll do it. Rotation equals new vector. Rotation, camera Y. So when we press this, the local rotations... We expect the entire rotation to be whatever it was before, X and Y, or Z. And the new rotation to be the direction the camera is looking, which is camera.rotation.y. But we want to set this back to 0. So we just want to set it to camera start. This camera start is the... I think we can mess with this. I think maybe 3.5. Rotation. So we want to set the rotation Y. What if we just do like a float public, float forward direction equals 0f. And then when we rotate the camera here, so this is when we rotate the camera, we just set forward equals camera dot rotation y, and then forward direction is just this. Yeah, maybe. Maybe. It's kind of messy, but maybe. Oh. So, I don't quite know what's happening there. Let's try this again. So we don't move our mouse, we press forward. Okay? We turn the mouse to the corner, we press forward. Our character rotated. What for forward? Okay, so it kind of gets messy when you're moving at the same time as you're rotating your camera. It kind of locks back and forth. Okay, so we're closer. So we're looking at that corner, we press forward. I didn't rotate our character. That's what's happening. Why does it keep not rotating our character? Is it like a Euler thing? What is rotation in? Isn't it specified in terms of Euler angles? That is what's happening. So we got to convert this to a Euler, or yeah. Because camera rotation is in... No, it should be the same. It should also be Euler. Chat's like a rubber duck. Yep, pretty much. Euler. I mean, that's pretty much how I do coding stuff. Well, for streaming is like, we'll just have you guys as my rubber ducky. Ugh. Okay, so do I have one for coding off stream? No, I don't really use a rubber ducky off stream. It really is a valid method, though. If you guys have ever heard of the rubber ducky method for coding, which is basically the idea that if you just talk through your issues, you'll kind of come through a solution. They call it a rubber ducky because a lot of coders used to have like rubber duckies on the desk, and they used to basically hold it up and basically talk to it. Just explain what your issue is, and eventually, like, by you saying it out loud, you kind of, your brain kind of figures it out. Was thinking of a side up plushie. That'd be a good one. That's why I like a lot of... There's also pair programming, which means two people are put on. And if you get mad, you can just chuck it across the room, right? Pair programming is similar, where one person's kind of driving, is what it's called. So they're the one that is actually coding. The other person's kind of there to help. And so the discussion's open between them. But it's kind of a similar method where you're talking through the issues instead of just staring at the code and hoping that it gets finished. But pair programming is a little bit further because you have someone else who's another programmer who can generally see the issue. But it has a similar effect because you're generally going through the issues out loud versus just in your head. Um, okay, so rotation. I thought. See, this one says it's in local transformation in radians, specified in terms of Euler angles. So we're setting the rotation. Camera rotation start is working, but that's not the camera rotation start's not in Euler. Maybe if you do like get the direction, it like turns it not to Euler, and so, or maybe when you set it from this thing, you have to set it to a non-Euler. Let me see. Godot convert radians to non-radians. Rad 2 degree. Two degree. I don't know if this is a thing in C#. Euler. This might be a thing where I might have to actually use the inbuilt one because, let's see, C#. Rotation degrees. So rotation degrees. And I do just -25. Call that quits. Let's see if that works. Okay, so that worked for the camera. It still isn't working setting the other one. So let's see what that one's about. So that definitely fixed the camera one using the camera degrees, or rotation degrees, and not the rotation. So one question is that, and then camera.rotation degrees. Okay, so it's still rotating, but forward is still forward. So that maybe that's the thing with this slide. Do I need is there a way I'd change the forward? Godot, change the forward direction of an object. That's probably something that's not happening. I'm not changing the forward direction when I'm not doing rotate. C#. Okay, let's just look at the code and see if we can find a forward. So what if we forward rotation dot forward? Maybe it's a transform. Form dot Direction. Look. Look at. I don't want to look at. I want to rotate to a specific angle. I feel like I'm still just missing something for Godot. C#, Godot. Rotate to a specific rotation. Yeet followed by a quack, pretty much, right? Using transforms. Let's see, method. Ortho normalized. Scaled. Basis, direction. I know those words, right? So I'm just spouting out stuff. I'm looking stuff up here. Let's see. I'm going through the documentation. Oh my god, everything closed. 1 second. I don't like how everything closed. So I'm running through this documentation. I'm trying to figure out rotation. Basically, I want to rotate to a specific rotation. So this transform origin, get the direction vector from a player to enemy. Do I want to do transform origin? Transform dot origin. What's the origin? The origin vector. I don't think that's quite right, because that's finding the direction that the player is. Gotta start over now. Yeah, no. Plus outer normalize. Min axis move toward. For distance. Direction 2. Bounce angle 2. Oh, okay. What if I do move toward? And then we set it to this. By a fixed delta. 1. Is this gonna work? I don't know. Let's find out. Okay, so no, so our X is still locked. Or like our rotation. So us rotating doesn't mean anything. It's not rotating the player. But whenever we move, it is locking us back to the origin, which is fine, because that's what we want. But us moving back and forth isn't rotating the player. I mean, we could make it easy because I'm rotating the camera, and I could just rotate the player instead. Just do rotate, and then none of this means anything. We don't need to do any of this. Right. Just make it super easy. So when I rotate, it just rotates that. And when I press forward. Oh, pressing forward still doesn't do it. Oh, okay. So I definitely have the rotation based on that. So the velocity, maybe? The move and slide. So the rotation does it affect move and slide? Godot move and slide rotation. Based on rotation. How to do movement based on rotation. This is a good start. This is what I like seeing. What the hell? There's a moth in my room. I don't why. Works with translate, but not moving glide. Hey, Maple Leaf, welcome in, welcome in, welcome to the database. Thanks for the follow. Okay, so apparently move and slide doesn't respect rotation. Interesting. Yeah, you're hoping it, Jason. You can be a Jason. That's fine. I mean, I call everyone glitches, so you're probably a glitch, Jason. So it's probably just how it works. I mean, I am the glitched rune. I'm an artificial glitched AI, so that's my whole thing. I may look like a fox boy, but that's just my outward appearance. Can I be an X-File? Yeah, sure, whatever, Nate. You can be an X-File. You're locked in storage. So apparently move and slide doesn't respect rotation. So could we just do a translate? Perfect, guys. I'm trapped in Ruin's basement. Yep. My mods are trapped in my basement. Sorry, guys. At least Nate is. I'm not going to force you to be in the basement, Jacob, if you don't want. Okay, so we're going to do translate. Something didn't work. Okay, so we're just falling through the floor. It's fantastic. Just give me a spare bedroom, I'll cook and clean. Oh, wow. So translate's not working. So no one's answered this. So this is kind of one of the issues I know about Godot, is there's just not much. I don't respect your rotation either. I know, right? For some reason, this slide and or move and slide just doesn't respect translation or rotation. Is there another? Is there like a move and move and slide? I don't know what slide does. Clyde. This is the one issue that I know about Godot. It's just because it's new, it doesn't have as much stuff. So I can't just look something up. I have to figure it out. Like, guy who wants to figure stuff out. Oh, I can rotate the velocity though. Can I rotate the velocity? Is that a thing? You didn't win shit tonight, rip. Okay, yeah, so I guess the rotation or the move and slide is moving in the direction, and the velocity is currently just in X and Y direction, which makes sense. So if I just rotate the velocity based on my character's current look, maybe. Rotated axis vector 3. Crap. I'm trying to think of how this is working. Direction. Because we want the direction to be. So I think it's here, right? We want to do the direction which is the camera is facing, so it's going to be a rotation dot. I'm guessing at this point. We're just gonna let it fly, you know? And we're just gonna hope for the best. This is like physics, but like trial and error. We don't actually do physics here. We just kind of guess. So we're rotating. We press forward. Nothing's happening. We press right. Nothing's happening. Okay, so movement's broken. That's good. So it did something. So maybe it's not. Okay, so direction. We broke something. That's good. Step one, we broke it. We're all good. Would the loss be like direction times speed? Yeah, that's what the base was, but like I'm trying to. So what's happening is that move and slide is just moving it in only the X and Y direction, no matter how our character is rotated. So we kind of need to rotate our velocity with the character, I think. So I'm trying to think of the equation to do that. Which maybe we can just rotated vector 3 dot up. I don't know the angle though. This is where I'm getting lost. Is the angle. You kind of have to figure out like the current direction it's looking and then the new direction it's looking, and that's the angle we want to rotate it. But I don't have that saved. See, this is where the game developers need to know some actual physics and math that comes into play. Like, I don't remember it. This was 7 years ago. This is why you look up calculations. Yeah, I'm so bad with vectors beyond Sybil shit, even 2D. Yeah. The issue is, like, the example I see uses rotated, right? So you're like, okay, that looks good. But they're just rotating in a random direction. So it doesn't really help, because it's just random. Like, it's like close. So when they say linear algebra was important, they actually meant it. I mean, linear algebra is pretty easy. It's more of like physics and calculus, which is what you got to use in this stuff. Even assuming you're making a 3D game and you're trying to figure out where the z-axis of your figure is pointing, then you're looking for your player.global transform.basis.z, which gives you the normalized vector pointing to a player's forward vector. Well, I know in 2 you can do velocity equals transform x times speed, then it'll go in the direction of the rotation. Transform x times speed. Okay. Transform x. So direction is... So I think it has to do something with this direction. So I think we want to modify this so that if direction is greater than 0, then we want to update direction dot x plus equal... We want to find out... crap. Forward, back. We want to rotate the direction. Plus equal... Sorry, this is where it hurts my brain. Okay, I got it. Okay. Okay, so we want to rotate the target velocity or the direction. Don't remember which. Okay, so the direction is the one we want to rotate. The rotated. I'm going to try to write out what I'm doing, and then I'll try to break it down. So we have the direction equals the player's input direction. And then we have the camera, or the facing direction, which is the direction the player is rotated. And so what we want to do is we want to update the direction the player is inputting plus the facing direction equals the final direction. Which then final direction is the one we want to use for is the one used for target velocity. So we have the direction. We just need to get the player facing direction, add them together, which is the part that I'm trying to figure out what it is. So player.globaltransform.basis.z gives you a normalized vector pointing to the player's forward vector. So if our forward equals transform dot basis dot z. Hey, what's up, Pats? Welcome in, welcome in. I am doing pretty good, just learning some Godot. I mean, currently struggling with calculus, but hopefully learning Godot. Equals direction plus forward. I'm just gonna hope that this works. Okay, I mean, that's fine. We'll figure that out in a second. It's this. You don't need to do rotation. Let's try that again. Not much, just playing a new beginning. Whoa, what's happening? Nice, nice. How's that going? I hope you're having better luck than me with this rotation. Because holy, I'm struggling with this. Okay, so I think it's transform basis Z. I think it's just constantly moving me. So we only want to do this in here. And I could probably just update direction. So that we're just using direction here. So this is only happening when direction is not 0. So there's actually an input in direction. So far so good, as long as you don't mind point and clicks. I mean, I don't mind them. They can be pretty good sometimes. Okay, so we're not breaking anything yet. We're moving forward. Okay, so it's still only moving in like... Oh, we're at a weird angle. What? How did that happen? Okay, what if we go like var forward equals vector 3.0, right? And then we just go forward.x plus direction forward.z. I feel like I'm slightly not thinking about this correctly. I think I might have to do a little bit more research if this doesn't work, because I'm a little bit lost. But don't worry, I will figure this out. I promise you guys. Okay, so we're moving backwards. We're moving backwards. What? We're only moving backwards. Okay. So we're only moving backwards every single direction. So that's something. That is something. Maybe we don't want the Z basis. Something's happening. That's for sure. Seems like every time something's happening. Global transform basis X form. Vector 2 dot right. Vector 3 dot forward. Okay, so global transform dot basis dot X form vector 3 dot forward. Should be basic X form. Basic basis X form. What is basis X form Godot C#? X form in Godot. So there's apparently an X form, but I don't have that. Basis. Okay, let's see what basis has. Transposed. What is transposed? Get rotation quaternion. So that's the rotation. What if I just get rotation? Forward. dot z. I don't. What's basis? Just transform 3D. Get Euler. Sure. Fuck it. What if that works? Huh? That'd be insane. I'm just guessing. That's what we do here. We just guess. Okay, so that doesn't work at all. Transform. We're gonna just do a normal transform. I feel like once I get this movement down, I want to like quit. This is insane to me because like I'm rotating a thing. I don't know why it's not respecting my rotation. Godot move and slide does not set velocity based on rotation. How about that? Is there a thing for that? Okay, so there's a thing that is red. We'll try it out. Don't need this forward. Normalize. We don't have this forward anymore. It seems like this move and slide accepts one parameter, which we can do global transform dot basis dot z. Apparently move and slide doesn't accept it though. Let's say your direction is 3 key press, for example, blank, global direction. And you don't want to move in the global direction, but in the local direction the kinematic body is facing. First, you rotate the vector on the axis you want to rotate. In my example, I rotate around the y, which is the okay. Rotate around that. Rotation is a vector 3 that stores the current rotation. Rotation at y. So it's claiming that we do direction dot rotated dot vector 3 dot up around rotation dot y. Let's give this a try. Like fuck it, I don't know. We're trying everything at this point. So that didn't work. Up, forward. Maybe it's not. Local direction equals rotated. Okay, that didn't work. Still. Returns the rotated vector. Oh, do we just not update it? Oh my god, thank god. Guys, I did it. Well, at least I mostly did it. It seems pretty wonky, but it is doing what I want. Thank God, I swear. First try, not even a challenge. Okay, so we got the movement going. Let's add a jump. I don't know how force is applied in this engine, but we're gonna check it out. I'm assuming there's like a jump impulse thing or like an impulse force that we can apply. So in the physics process, okay, we don't need any of this anymore. We got the move going. We're just gonna do if is on floor. Okay, so there's this. We could do an else here, actually. We could be like, oh yeah, else. Then we could go target velocity dot y equals jump impulse. What's jump impulse? Is there a value I set? It is. Jump strength. We're gonna go up here. We're gonna set a jump strength. Export public int jump strength get set equals 20. I don't know how much 20 is, but we'll find out. We're just jumping. Oh, if we're on the ground, we're I didn't add the space bar. So we're just always jumping. That strength was pretty good, though. Else if is on floor, and I guess we could just separate this. If it's on the floor and input dot is action just pressed jump. There we go. Oh. We just floated off the space. We added jump, right? Space. Input. We have jump. Do I have to do jump? Okay, let's try this again. Let's hope we don't float off into space. I think it's because of all the errors we had. There we go. We got a jump going. We got some gravity. Seems pretty reasonable. Okay, so we're kind of rotating slightly, I noticed. So in Unity, there's a way to lock your X and Y rotation. So we kind of want to just rotate our character's Y. So I wonder if in this there's a way to lock your X and or your Y and Z. So we grab a player. Axis lock. Here we go. Angular Y, angular Z. So we can still rotate, but this should prevent us from, like, falling backwards or falling sideways. Cool. Okay, so we have a basic movement system going. So one thing that my other game had was that you can use items and you can kill an enemy and you can chop down trees and you can talk to a person. So we'll probably continue that next time. I'll probably do a little bit of research on how to do a UI. That's probably what I'll work on for next stream, is working on a UI. So I think that's all I'm gonna do today. I'm gonna leave this a little bit short today because I got some VODs I gotta take care of. I should have a new TikTok short or YouTube short coming out tomorrow, so check that out. I got a new editor, so that should be a lot of fun. I will catch you guys tomorrow. I'm actually gonna be on Nakara's stream at 4:30 CST. I'll be joining her Baldur's Gate 3 campaign, so feel free to check that out. I'll probably throw something in Discord for you guys to check out if you want. But then after that, I'll be playing some Shadow of War on my own stream. Yeah, so this week I'm actually doing a lot of stuff on other people's streams, so that's that. Thursday, I'm going to be playing City Skylines, making some chaotic cities. Friday, I'm going to be on Matcha's stream, so it should be like a little interview thing. So we'll be doing that. So yeah, like a lot of stuff going on. And then potentially Sunday, I got to double check on everyone's schedule, but hopefully we can do that session 2 that we keep putting off for our Pathfinder game. Feel free to check out my socials. I'm always active on there. And if you guys enjoy what you saw and want to see more, feel free to leave a follow. I would really appreciate it. Let us go find someone to go raid. We're doing some game development, so I'm going to send this over to Aaron. He's another Godot game developer. So we'll see what he's up to. So yeah, let me go send it over. And with that, I will catch you guys tomorrow.
Just pay attention to the flowers. That's okay. Glitchroon, hey, thank you so much for the raid. Talking to yourself, kind of, but not really. Spend a lot of time talking to chat here. Glitchroon, thank you so much for the raid. Exterminator, thanks for coming in with that. Big Mama Jacob, welcome as well. How was your stream? What were you up to? Dr. Zucchini, thank you for coming in. The Haxers, were you doing Hacktober stuff? We gotta throw something at Glitchroon. I don't even know what's going on with Hacktober. I hope people are having fun with it. Just learning some Godot. Fuck yes. I love to hear that. First time using it today. I'm so excited for you. That's so awesome. Do you have anything you want to show? Do you have like a screenshot of a gray box or anything like that? That's awesome. Anyway, we love Godot stuff here. So hey, if you want to see someone starting to learn Godot